I can't even kind of express my overall level of excitement of kind of where we are and what we're about to do right now. So how do we even start the story? So maybe like 3 weeks ago, I get this email from Drew Endy that's like, hey, you need to meet, and it was like to a bunch of people. It was like, hey, you guys all need to meet this guy that I just met, Ahmed Best. He's like, Ahmed Best is going to come into synthetic biology, and he's going to come and like change the culture. He's like, he's going to come and change the culture. And he's like, I'm trying to connect with everybody in synthetic biology that does culture, movement related things, because you all need to meet this guy. And so I was like, okay, who is Ahmed Best? I don't know who Ahmed Best is. And so we set up and organized this Zoom call, and kind of like immediately in the Zoom call, and I think you guys already get the feeling, if you are able to in this Zoom grid see where Ahmed is right now. Ahmed kind of brings the energy and the enthusiasm and the life force of like the supernova. Like he has so much force, so much creative energy. And again, himself is a really, really, you can look up his bio, but really, really experienced and has so much, has done incredible work as an actor, as a comedian, as a musician. But I think now in this phase of life is also a professor and is doing great work in academia, and has been, again, connecting through the design school at Stanford with folks like Drew, and thinking a lot about storytelling. And so, again, we're going to have a whole day about communicating science on Sunday, where we're going to have storytelling, and also shout outs, Lisa Joy from Westworld will be here on Sunday. Very excited about that. But storytelling is also, as we've been saying, a huge part about movement building, right? Step one in Marshall Ganz's public narrative process is all about storytelling, right? In order for us to be able to make effective change in the world, and going back again to science activism, the start of the day with LaDonna, the roots of all of that are connecting with our values and our emotions through storytelling. And so to me, in getting to know Ahmed, part of what I've been so blown away by is his passion for storytelling, the way that he does it, the values and worldview that he expresses when he engages in that storytelling. So everybody, it's, again, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes or so, but I just know it's going to be awesome. So everybody, can you all join me in giving a huge BioSummit welcome and huge love to Ahmed Best? Yes.
Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. I'm really, really excited to be in a room filled with all of these beautiful minds and people and ideas and everything. And, just like David said, when we first had that meeting, I was like, oh, I met a brother. I met a guy who we just connected right from jump. And with all of his projects and everything that he's doing, even with Drew Endy and we put together just such a really good group that day. I was just like, you got me. I'm in for life. You can't get rid of me. That's it. I'm part of it. Right? I'm part of it. I'll do kind of like a little bit of beginning kind of who I am and what I do and where I came from and how I came to David and this. Like I said, and like David said, my name is Ahmed Best. I am a Leo. Thank you. I'm a writer, director, actor, producer. I teach film at the University of Southern California at the School of Dramatic Arts. I teach actor, entrepreneurship, and film. I am also a senior fellow at the Annenberg School of Communications and Journalism at USC. And like David said, I also teach Afrofuturism and Afrofuture design at the D School at Stanford. And pretty much, I started out as a theater actor, and I started my career in this show called Stomp. And Stomp was a musical without words. It was found object percussion. But the thing that I loved about Stomp was a nonverbal communication show. And by the end of the show, everyone in the room, in the audience, regardless of whether it was 300 people or 5,000 people, everyone spoke Stomp. Right. And so it really showed me the power of storytelling, even without words, right? The power of connection through human beings, even without having to say things, right? And then from, I already kind of got outed in the chat, but from Stomp, I went to star in Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. And I played a character called Jar Jar Binks. And Jar Jar Binks was the first CGI character in film history. And the thing that was so amazing about being Jar Jar was the fact that we were breaking new ground. We were a team that really only had to answer to one person's vision of the future, which was George Lucas. And that's what really kind of got me addicted to futurism and realizing and recognizing that you can actually create the future in which you have agency over, right? Because George did it. And I was watching in real time how they did it. And I was watching everything about CGI and live action CGI as an actor being built in real time. And I was a part of that. And, a lot of the code that was written that is still being used today was written on me. So every CGI main character in movies has a little bit of me inside them. So every time you see like a Thanos, say, "What's up, Thanos? I know you from Ahmed." I'm like everybody's granddad. You know what I'm saying? Like I walked so Thanos could snap. What I really want to talk about today, though, is, like David said, I'm a very, very passionate storyteller, and I love finding and framing stories in specific and different places, right? And the reason why I was drawn to Drew so much is because I am just a science fanatic. To me, like, scientists are my rock stars, right? I get kind of really giddy and geeky, and it comes from being a really kind of geeky kid. And when I met Drew at Stanford and saw what synthetic biology was doing there, I was just like, I have to be a part of it. And I want to be able to tell the story of synthetic biology. But in order to tell the story of the future and how to frame the story of the future, I'm going to talk about this thing, and I'm going to share my screen and do the very business-oriented. Can you guys see the screen? Yes? Cool. Okay. So be the signal. All right. So I grew up there in New York City. I'm from New York, born and raised, Knick fan till I die. I know they're getting good again. They've been bad for a while, but New York is my home. It's a place that I really am connected to. And, there's a saying that the further away from home you are, the more you're from there. And even though I live in Los Angeles, I've always been a New Yorker. I'll always be a New Yorker. All right. And more specifically in New York City, I am from that place. I'm from the Soundview section of the South Bronx, right? And behind me right there, that's the building I grew up in. And I always like to call it my village in the sky, right? I started on the 17th floor, and then my father, when he got a better job, he moved us to the 8th floor. But I've always been really comfortable in very high places because I grew up in the sky. And there are a lot of these villages all over New York City, all of these sky villages filled with all of these people. And inside the sky village, you have everybody's specific tribe. Like my best friend lived right upstairs from me. And, we would go downstairs and we would play in the park. And another one of these sky villages, a little bit west from where I was this guy. This is DJ Kool Herc. And Kool Herc in the west side of the Bronx was creating what we now call hip hop, right? Now, as a kid in the 70s and 80s in New York, hip hop wasn't a mainstream thing, right? Hip hop was really something about our community, our neighborhood. It was something that we had that nobody else had, right? And Kool Herc had a radio show, and the radio show would go out and he would play hip hop music over the radio, but it was still very underground. It was still very cultural. It was still very, regional as well. There was Bronx hip hop, there was Queens hip hop, there was Brooklyn hip hop. Like each borough had their own hip hop, but Kool Herc started it, right? And Kool Herc started it in a village in the sky, right? Just like my village in the sky, right? And so hip hop turned into graffiti, right? Hip hop as a culture, graffiti, b-boying and breakdancing, right? And rapping, right? And so this is pretty much what my neighborhood looked like when I was a kid, and it was very countercultural. And nobody outside of our neighborhoods really knew what hip hop was. This is my elementary school, PS 100. And at PS 100, we would rap, right? At the lunch counter and the cafeteria, we would bang on the table and we would freestyle, right? And across the street from my building, in that PS100 concrete playground was an open park. And every summer in that open park, DJs would grab their mama's amplifiers and grab the turntables out of their living rooms, jack into the light posts on the street for electricity, and keep the party going all night long, right? So DJing back in the day in the 70s was this kind of mess of electronics that you see, right? It was one turntable plugged into another amplifier and another turntable plugged into another amplifier and all of this spaghetti chords of things. And it would be like, to go from one record to the next record, they would turn the volume down on one amplifier and turn the volume up on the other amplifier, right? So volumes were always variable. Dropping the needle on a record was never, quite precise, but the goal was to keep the party going, right? To keep the party going all night long.
Ahmed, really quick, if you go back to that picture.
Yeah.
Can you explain the critical role of fruit punch in it?
Bro, summertime, New York City, right? You can see that they prioritize with the fan. They prioritize the amps.
There's a fan and the fruit punch. That's
know what I'm saying? They prioritize the amp. They were just like, well, yeah, whatever. We got to keep the amps clean. What do we do for hydration? Yo, get that dollar fruit punch, son. Get the dollar fruit punch. So the fruit punch was for the DJs and the fan was for the amps. So Grandmaster Flash, he's from my neighborhood. And he was one of the DJs that was like a superstar in the Bronx. Like he had this group called Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, right? And they were from the Bronx. And, they looked like crazy outer space. And this is what hip hop started as, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't as commercialized as it is now. It wasn't as clean as it is now. This is what searching for a sound looks like, right? This is what searching for a movement looks like, right? And Flash started out like this. Flash started out turning one amplifier up and the other amplifier down. However, Grandmaster Flash was an electrician by day, right? And Flash said, there's gotta be a better way to go from record one to record two, where we can keep the volume consistent. It feels like the song never stops, right? And we can keep the party going all night long, right? So the girls could dance, the breakers could dance, everybody could dance, right? So Flash came up with this idea. If there was a switch that went from record one to record two, so we can go from record to record seamlessly, that would be the solution. And then Flash invented the Crossfader. That was a Grandmaster Flash invention. He was the first guy to come up with the Crossfader. And it turned that spaghetti of wires and crazy and amplifiers to this, right? He was like, this one piece of gear, this one piece of equipment can go from one record to the next record, right? And you can continue the break beat, right? Break beats, because everybody danced in the break beats. That's where break dancing came from, right? And then break dancers were called break dancing boys, right? And then they shortened that down to B-boys. That's where B-boys came from, right? And so Flash kept the B-boys going because he created the Crossfader. In future forecasting, in anything that anybody talks about the future, they talk about signals, right? This is a big deal in any kind of corporate forecasting, anything, right? And they define signals as typically a small or local innovation or disruption that has the potential to grow in scale and geographic distribution. A signal can be a new product, a new practice, a new market strategy, a new policy, or a new technology. It could be an event, a local trend, or an organization. It can also be a recently revealed problem or state of affairs. In short, it is something that catches our attention at one scale and in one locale and points to a larger implications for other locales or even globally. Those are signals. Now, I'm the co-founder of this company, the AfroRithm Futures Group. And in the AfroRithm Futures Group, we've created a game called AfroRithm from the Future, and it's a card game. I heard somebody talking about card games, and it's a card game, and it's a card game that imagines future through an app using Afrofuturism through an African innovation indigenous lens, right? It's a game that completely democratizes the future and abolishes white supremacy. And one of the reasons why we created this game is because most of the time in future forecasting, people are looking for signals. They're looking for trends, and they base all of their forecasting on what they find, right? But when it comes to us, people like us, we are the signal. They're looking for us. They're looking for people who do what we do. They're looking for people who think the way we do. They're looking for people who congregate and conversate the way that we do, right? They're looking for hip hop. That's us. That's who we are. That's who we are culturally. That's who we are creatively. That's who we are scientifically. That's how we motivate one another, right? So rather than let the future happen to you, you know, a lot of times everybody thinks that we don't have any agency over the future. It's something that billionaires can just do all over you. And then you wake up in the morning and you just realize that Elon Musk just futured on you and you can't get the future off of you, right? It's just everywhere. You just, I got to get this Jeff Bezos off. You know what I'm saying? It takes like 3 showers to get a Bezos off you, right? But the future is not something that a small group of people can do to you. The future is something that we have agency over, that we can democratize, that we can control. So rather than look for the signal, right? Rather than wait for the signal, be the signal. And get that signal out there. That's who we need. We need each and every one of us to be the wildest dreams of our ancestors. That's who we are, right? Don't wait for the signal. Be the signal. And that's it.
Yo, I feel like we all need to unmute and just like give some loud noise to Ahmed right now for yo, yes. Oh my God. Ahmed, you got to follow this chat. The chat is like bananas. Everybody is just like losing their minds in this chat as you've been going.
Yeah, it's really good. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like literally, Ahmed, we had like what, 1 conversation, 2 conversations, like ever. Yeah. But it's like you are so tribe. It's like not, you know what I mean? It's just like you are so speaking the language of this community. It's like the whole this group in particular. It's like all of the existing power structures. How do we go back to the grassroots? How do we ultimately go back and like ensure that as many people as possible have that agency so that we all can collectively be the signal, right?
That's right.
So you are so resonant with everything that you know, kind of this conference and this movement is all about. So I don't know what fate and forces brought us together, but what are like we need to figure out like what are we doing? Are we going to do like a big art project together? Or like what's the collab?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, man. I would love to do a big art project together. And what I've been doing, you know, especially when it comes to what I do, you know, as a performance artist and in the performing arts, is to be able to frame and tell these stories in a way that recognizes the fact that we don't need a white supremacist structure in order to feel viable, right? We don't need anyone to tell us what is necessary, what is strong, what is viable, what is moving, right? We have that. We know that, right? We have what I call an emotional engine inside every single one of us. And this is kind of actors' bread and butter, right? This is what actors need in order to do the job, right? We need an emotional engine, and we have access to that emotional engine. It's that thing that turns us on, right? And we all have one, right? And it's in us, and actors just train it, right? So you can be able to access it whenever you need. Like sometimes as an actor, you need to be in tears by page 10, right? So how do you do that, right? And that's what we train. We train that emotional engine, right? But that emotional engine is also incredibly informative in anything else we do. And, you know, I always look at science and art as the same thing. You know, science and art very recently has been pulled apart into two different disciplines, but it was always the same thing, right? And with science and art, we have this ability to affect people emotionally, right? The thing that I was really loving about synthetic biology is there are so many ways that you can emote a feeling with an audience through biology, right? We have all of these ancient senses that we haven't really, we haven't gotten a hold of, we haven't used in all of these years, because we've kind of defaulted to our eyes, right? Human beings were very eye creatures. We look at everything. Everything is visual, right? But there are all of these other things that give us access to our emotions that we don't use, right? The olfactory sense, the audible sense, the sense of taste, right? And there are these things in synthetic biology that you can do in order to affect people on all of these levels. I would say that, you know, scientists, a science artist who kind of does this are chefs, right? Chefs kind of hit all your senses when they bring you a plate. Now, what we do as filmmakers, as screen artists, as theater makers, is we imbue each space with a meaning, right?
Yeah.
So the front of the stage, the middle of the stage, the back of the stage, they all mean something. Where you place things in space, we imbue with an emotion, right? And if you can place an item in space, any space, right? Any three-dimensional, four-dimensional space, right? And place it in the exact way with the meaning that you want, you can get an audience to feel the way you want them to feel, right? And this is something as performance artists, we do, right? This is what we do every day, right? We make you feel the way we want you to feel, right? And I think when it comes to science and thinking about the sciences, we've kind of in this society put this almost like battle between science and religion, when one really doesn't have very much to do with the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody looks at science like the religion of the elite, which I never got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really understand that. But thinking about science as a means, as a method, right? As a way to a solution or a way to a better question, right? It's more accessible that way. We can understand it that way. And we have to story our way into that thinking. And, you know, this is something that you and I talked about, David. No amount of facts or data will get you to trust what people say. You have to story your way into it. You have to narrative your way into it, right? And the thing that impresses me so much about Grandmaster Flash was he was just trying to keep the girls dancing. Like, he'll tell you that, right? All the girls in the South Bronx in the summertime, he just wanted to see them move. That's what it was. So he created this wonderful piece of technology that he didn't patent, you know what I'm saying? That everybody took. And now you have an entire billion-dollar industry based on this piece of technology, right?
So, go ahead, Ahmed. You're about to.
Yeah. So the story of Flash and the story of the signal is what's important, right? The story about how you are coming up with what you are coming up and how you are the signal is what's important. How you frame what you're doing and why you're doing it is what's important. And that's how you get that trust and to get that message out.
So a couple things, Ahmed. Number one, it's amazing how, like, throughout the arc of this day, you know, we've been at this for like almost 12 hours now, which is crazy. But, you know, like Marshall earlier in the day, again, talking about why is science separated from art? Like, what happened that these two things got separated? And you're making the exact same point. So this sort of, you know, kind of vision for a multidisciplinary creative future, which I think all of us are kind of vibing on here. And then just to say in the chat too, we've got some really great comments. Thelma with bioengineer a feeling. Thelma, you want to share a little bit about what that might be like?
Well,
what you're thinking?
No clue, because this is all so new and so crazy, but I think we can totally start creating new metabolisms, new bacteria with new purposes, more than just following the industrial trends. Also to feel, to learn, to perceive new things. So maybe re engineer all the things we have been doing with science to reunite that with art or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like biology or the life sciences in service of storytelling as opposed to
Yeah,
in service
Exactly.
of industry. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but why not expand the scope and the dimensions in which we can employ these technologies?
absolutely. One of the things we talk about in Afrofutures in AfroRhythms from the future in the group is the ability to embrace the complexity of who we are, right? A lot of times we try to reduce everything to, we can either do it for art, or we can do it for science, or we can do it for industry, or we can do it for pleasure, and we can do it for this, this or that, right? With us, it's like improv comedy. You got to yes and everything, right?
Mhm.
And when you yes and, you can bring in more possibilities and bring in more people. Like me, although my education is in music and film, right? Me being in this space makes me better. It makes me a better artist. It makes me a better teacher. It makes me a better filmmaker, because your experience and your diversity is being, imprinted on me. And I hear your stories. I hear your ambitions. I hear where you're going. And that makes me move differently, right?
Mhm.
So, a lot of times in this diversity conversation, we talk about we need it, right? But we don't talk about the why of diversity, right?
Mhm.
And the why of diversity is the signal, right? The diversity is an engine for innovation. The more diversity you have in your organization, the more innovative your organization is going to be. You will be the most innovative organization if you have the most diversity. It's not something that you just throw some Black folks in so you don't get sued, right? Because a lot of times when you talk about diversity, it's just like, oh, we got somebody who identifies as Black male and we're good. Like, no, that's not what it's about, right? What it is about is that experience, and it is about that driver of innovation. The more diversity you have, the more of a driving of innovation that you have. But you also have to listen to the culture of the diversity in your organization, right? Because a lot of times when diverse people get into non-diverse organizations, they expect those diverse people to assimilate, right? And sometimes you don't want to drink a craft IPA. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you don't want to wear the ironic comic book t-shirt from the same place that everybody got the ironic comic book t-shirt, right? Sometimes you want to be a DJ and a software engineer. You know what I'm saying? So it is up to the organization to recognize that the cultural diversity is the innovation driver, right? That's the why of diversity. And we have to really drill that home, especially to the larger corporations.
So I just wanted to make sure we open it up again for the chat is just on fire. There's so many comments from everybody in here. Do folks want to ask Ahmed a question? Feel free if you guys want to unmute or raise your hand, and we can do a little dialogue with Ahmed too. Because again, this is such a dude. Just thank you so much for coming. It's so special for you to be here. And like, I mean, again, I think you can tell we're so like we cannot imagine a better moment for BioSummit. This is BioSummit history right now. Like, time with you. No, seriously, it's like the energy here is really amazing. Do folks have questions or thoughts or comments for Ahmed? Again, we're in the chat, but you can also unmute and share as well. Don't be shy, y'all.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I am very, very low maintenance.
Brian, do you want to ask a question?
Let me just gather my thoughts for just a second. I'm just happy my mute is unmuted because storytelling is difficult if you're on mute. And if your computer has 4 or 5 levels of mute. So the first question, did Grandmaster Flash invent the 3-deck fader?
No, he just invented the one, but then that is just...
That's all you need. I'm just saying, I'm just like, it's going to eventually have 3 decks, right?
Yeah, you could have unlimited decks.
As one does, because the second question is, what are the mixers or the faders in biology? There has to be a few different ones.
Great
kind of
question.
To bring it into
beautiful. See, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the last thing I'll say is I came here for the BioSummit and was blown away. And then Emperor Jar Jar Binks, excuse me,
Senator.
there's a theory.
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going.
Well, it's not. It's evil. It's true, but still, it's Emperor, man. Yo, this is unbelievable.
I cannot confirm nor deny my dark side affiliation.
So I gotta say that it's a great open source technology story about the history of hip hop that you just dropped on us, Ahmed. Like, holy, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
I did not know that Cool Herc actually built the first Crossfader. I did not know that. That's an incredible story.
Well, you know, I grew up in the birthplace of hip hop, and I grew up as it was being invented. And I was a kid, but and you know, much like everything that turns into such a cultural phenomenon, you don't really know it's going on when you're a kid, right? You're just like, and mind you, my parents hated it. Like every summer, we would be listening to the all night long DJs outside. My father was livid because he had to get up and go to work the next day, and the music would just be all night long, and we would just be up, and we wouldn't go to bed. It was terrible for parents, but as kids, we just loved it. And I didn't really know what was happening until like I got older and like reflected on my childhood. And when I first went to Europe and everybody was talking about hip hop, I was just like, and there were like documentaries on hip hop, and it was where I lived. Like it was like where it was my neighborhood. And every time I would say, oh yeah, I live right there, they would be like, what is it? And I had no idea it was that interesting to people, right? Because it was just something that happened in my neighborhood. And then it turned into what it turned into, you know, and it turned into this multi-billion-dollar cultural revolution that now it's very difficult to be a Black person in, you know, much like anything. But now we have to be new signals.
Beautiful. Other folks want to chime in with a question or a comment for Ahmed? Let's see. I mean, the chat is on. Everybody's hyper comfortable in the chat, but I do agree there is something about like unmuting and then shifting into like, you know, having to emote that maybe is. You know, we've got a lot of shy nerds here too. Oh, question, yeah. Carolyn, go for it.
I can ask a question if I'm unmuted.
Let's do Carolyn first, and then and I don't know who that voice was, but Carolyn, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, David. Thank you, Ahmed. Hey, Drew Endy has come and talked to us, you know, a lot at this conference. He's one of our heroes also. And he's just doing so many cool things about addressing ethics and who's at the table in terms of these discussions. So I love that you're at Stanford and that you're going to interact with that lab. And I'm wondering, you know, like from your perspective, what are some of the first changes that really need to happen in terms of synthetic biology? What are some of the fundamental shifts that you kind of think could be worked around, you know, like started on?
Yeah, well, the first thing is accessibility. Like nobody really has access outside of, you know, very small environments, right? The synthetic biology department at Stanford is wonderful, but the bar of entry to get into Stanford is so incredibly high. Like it's not going to reach past Palo Alto. You know what I'm saying? Like Oakland is 50 minutes away, and they just like, what is synthetic biology, right? So access is a big issue, right? The other thing is the storytelling, I think, has to change for synthetic biology to make it accessible. A lot of people hear synthetic biology and they just go, well, that's some egghead shit that I don't need. But in actuality, there are so many important breakthroughs and ways that synthetic biology could be useful in everyday life, in everyone's everyday life. I took a picture with Drew's DNA printer, and, you know, he was like, oh, there's a DNA printer. And I freaked out. Like, I thought that was the coolest shit I had ever seen. Like, it's like on a desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's where we print DNA. I mean, and then all of a sudden my imagination started going off. Like, what if, like, would you trust a vaccine if you made it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you could just download the ingredients and just plug in the DNA in your printer in your kitchen and just make your vaccine? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just start telling stories and asking questions based on that. And then Drew was talking about he thinks that everybody should have a DNA printer in their house. Like he's like, my dream is for every household to have one of these. And then I was like, well, why not? Right? Why shouldn't we all have it? And immediately when you start talking about this shit, people get scared, right? People are just like, oh, what? You're going to be creating like human animal hybrids. And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Why would anybody do that? Like what's the matter with you? What were you thinking? But it's the story that drives them to that conclusion. They don't have alternate forms of that story, right? So we have to start telling stories about DNA printers in everybody's household. And we have to make those stories accessible, right, to everyone. Right. I always talk about the iPhone and how the iPhone has enough computing in it. And that computing used to be, we have more computing in our iPhones than like nuclear power plants. Like this is kind of information would be able to launch nuclear weapons, and we have it in our pockets, but nobody has a problem with it. Right. Everybody's just like, let me get on IG. Let me do a live. Right. But it's like you have an enormous amount of computing power in your hand. When we talking about our bodies, and this is another thing about embracing complexity, we have to be able to embrace the complexity of biology in a way that makes us comfortable, right? And that's just the storytelling of it, I think.
Love it.
Yeah, I think
good.
That's such a great answer, because that's so much the tension right now in community bio is really this issue of, if you give people access, what are they going to do with it, and not really trusting that, and really being on a kind of legal edge sometimes with those questions. So appreciate your answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, accessibility and storytelling. That's some big themes from this. And actually, Ahmed, you're talking to the people that are basically driving the accessibility story in a lot of ways. Like this is kind of what this whole gang is about. Thelma, you got your hand raised. Go for it, Thelma.
Yay, hello. Can we compare, for example, the access of internet, that maybe all the planet is now using internet with different purposes, to the uses that we will give to synthetic biology if at one point it reaches everyone? I mean, is it like kind of a comparison? We have been learning a lot with internet, and we can do so with synthetic biology. What would be maybe the difference? What do you think about this?
Yeah, somebody put in the chat 4chan bio. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's the answer. But there is a bionet, right? And Drew was telling me about that you guys have a bionet. And I also think that it really is about, and again, it really is about the storytelling of it, right? The story of the internet is bringing the world closer, to be able to talk to people all around the globe simultaneously, right? This whole idea of back in the early days, it was the information super highway. You can get all of this information, right? So what is that for the synthetic biology movement, right? How are we coming together, and how are we getting all of these things to be accessible to us, and why? I was talking to Drew about this idea of, and Drew was talking to David and I about this as well, about organizing a Google search that takes you on almost a learning cycle rather than a searching cycle. Right. So a lot of times you go from one search to the other search, and you end up like just reading the first 3 searches to find your thing. Right. But what if there was a Google search that was, comprehensive learning, that was cumulative. And the more you entered that search, the more you learned. Right. And it would take you really into almost this, Socratic learning kind of experience. Right. So how would you craft that? And that's part of it, using the ability of the access to information to take you on this ride, to take you on this journey, right? To take you on this journey of learning is I think how we can amplify the speed of thought and the speed of internet into, synthetic biology.
Ahmed, I just want to keep track of time because we're just a little bit past the hour at 8:00 Eastern time.
Word out.
No. But again, I think if you're up for it, if you got another minute or two, do you have another minute?
Yes,
okay.
I got another minute.
Okay. Okay, so this is my thought. We can do a little quick preview of tomorrow to just kind of formally wrap up the day. And then Maria, I know do we have some people for open mic? Is it like how are we feeling about open mic?
I feel like y'all let me down. I'm gonna be honest here.
Oh, no. Maria, what I was gonna say is, okay, and again, I'm gonna put myself out there because this is one of those things. I used to run open mics for like a very long time, 10, 15 years. And like the thing about an open mic is you got to share first. If you share first, then it's like you kind of it opens it up and then other people start sharing. And there's sort of like that little kind of barrier before you got to get through the share barrier and then
Yeah, so, we'll try it and we'll see if we can get you guys inspired.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, but Maria, I was gonna say, Ahmed, if you're up for this, again, this is like, I feel like it's kind of like a once in a lifetime moment right now. I would be down. If you are down, we could do like a little quick freestyle, like a little quick, like I beatbox, I know you freestyle, you drop a beat, I'll do a little freestyle. And then, we can spark off the open mic that way, just to like have a little courage, do a little brave space. And then, then we'll kind of hopefully inspire everybody else to kind of share a little bit, something like that.
You want to do it right now?
Like we'll do a preview tomorrow to like officially wrap the day, and then we'll transition into the open mic, which is the next phase of the gathering. Because we did create space for our community to share. A couple people signed up, but I think people are just like a little like, we haven't quite broken the ice yet, of the conference. So again, no sweat, but I'm just putting it out there. I was feeling nervous about it, but you know what? I'm like, I'm just gonna put it out there. If you want to, if you're up for it, we could try that. We could try it.
Let me see what I got on tap. Let me see what I got off the dome. I feel like I did this whole hip hop signal thing, and if I punk out from rapping, I lose my b-boy card.
Think about it for a couple of minutes, because we'll preview tomorrow. So we can officially wrap up like this part of it, and then we'll preview tomorrow, and then we'll shift into the open mic. So it's not going to be formal anymore. I mean, this already was not formal, but we'll be even more informal, for that part. But everybody, can we just give a huge round of applause and love to Ahmed Best for being here and just being you and being a part of our tribe? Because Ahmed, you're in. This is it. You're in now. This is like,
you're not going to get rid of me. Can't get rid of me. Can't get rid of me.
No. And again, Ahmed was actually hanging out today too. He was popping in all the tracks, and we're here all weekend, dude. So you've got the website. So just pop in. It's going to be a crazy last 2 days. And so I'll give you guys, everybody, just a quick preview so that we're all aware of kind of what's on tap for tomorrow. So number one, I see Vittorio is still here. Vittorio, are we going to do 6 a.m. Eastern time, European regional? Is that happening? Vittorio, are you there?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm here. Yeah. I'm
here. Okay. So
yeah, I'm here also because I cannot really hear it. I'm here because there's a problem in the program. Our event disappeared from the program, and so I'm trying to.
We'll put it back in. Don't worry, but we'll let everybody know here. So 6 a.m. in the Nucleus, right?
Yeah. This is confirmed. Sorry. Only I need someone to grant me access to the Saturday limited version of the program, because
we'll take care of that for you, Vittoria. We'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So everybody, we're going to kick off tomorrow. For those of you that are in Europe or Asia, 6 a.m. We have Vittoria with a special 2-hour session in Europe. And then we're going to get into the main session tomorrow. Okay. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly just so we all can look at the program together very quickly. If I can find the right window. Oh my God, so many windows. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can find the right window first. Where is it? BioSummit website. Where are you? Give me 1 second, everybody. But tomorrow we have a crazy program in the morning, as we do every single day at BioSummit. So let me share my screen again. All right. So we have starting out you guys are really gonna lose your minds. We have Juliana Furci, who is the founder of the Fungi Foundation. So she's gonna give a talk about the understanding the worlds and wonders of fungi to kick things off. Juliana is also one of the main characters in the Netflix documentary, The Fantastic Fungi. So if you have seen that documentary, if you're familiar with Paul Stamets and all of the wonderful folks that are leaving the mycelium revolution, Juliana is one of the main characters in that story. She is fighting for fungal justice. She is one of the people that is getting nation states, including Chile, where she lives, to recognize the rights of fungi at the same level as other animal and plant species. So Juliana's going to blow your minds. We got Bridget Baumgartner from Revive and Restore using, and Ahmed, you should, it's early for you, but synthetic biology to de-extinct animal species. So de-extincting the woolly mammoth, the passenger pigeon, the American chestnut tree. Bridget is going to come and bring the heat on ways that we can use synthetic biology to basically help and restore our climate systems. And then Margarita Mora from Neotero. Margarita is part of an organization that highlights indigenous communities and their guardianship of vital ecosystems. Margarita is an old friend and ally of this community, and she's going to speak on her work. And then we've got two incredible sessions about vitalism and life and death. We've got Marietta Radomska on non-living and I can't even write this word, deteriorization of death. And then Bob Hendricks, who is designing living coffins. So he's building mycelium coffins. So that whole exploration on animacy. And then finally, John Leung from Kupu, who's an Obama fellow, building incredible organizations in Hawaii around agriculture and youth. And he'll be representing the youth and science track. Okay, so this is all in the morning tomorrow. It's going to be bananas. And that isn't even getting into what's going to happen in the afternoon. I'm not going to tell you the details, but we've got open innovation. We've got bio art and design. We've got youth and science, and we've got workshops. And then we've got one other that I forgot to mention, open innovation. Okay, guardianship of ecosystems. All of that's happening tomorrow afternoon in the Bio Summit. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. And we've got another epic day. So, and we're going to take a family photo tomorrow too. So as a part of our family photo, just so you guys know, we're going to do this at the very end after John Leung. We take our family photo with an object. So find a cool object, whatever that might be, bring that into the family photo, and we're going to do that. Actually, Ahmed, can we do the one with you right now? Can we do a photo with Ahmed Best, please? Yes. Yo, all right, let's do a pre-family photo right now. You can grab an object if you want, or just be awesome. You are awesome either way. But everybody, turn your videos on, because when else do you get a chance to do a family photo with Ahmed Best? I think this is like never. So let's all get together for this, because my God, we're here with Ahmed Best. All right, everybody. We got a couple of Zoom screens to go through, so hold whatever awesome pose it is. I'm gonna grab my Totoro over here. Hold on, I gotta grab my guy here. All right. Got to get Totoro into the shot. All right, everybody. You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hold that. Here we go. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And then last one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Can we make some noise one more time for Ahmed Best? Yes. Woo! And for Bio Summit Day 1. Woo! In the books, y'all.
Guys.
Oh
really
my God. Crazy day, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes. So we're done with the official program. Maria, we'll shift it over to you for open mic. And
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm ready. I have been consuming an unhealthy amount of dark chocolate covered espresso beans to keep me hyped up today. So you've all noticed I'm a little bit more hyper than usual, even because I'm excited, because we talked about it this morning when we talked with Marshall about the need for celebration. We do a lot of important work at Bio Summit. We talk about really big topics, and part of community building and part of the work we do is to celebrate together. So this is our chance to get together and have fun and get to know each other and be a little vulnerable and step up and get to show off what we're doing. And that doesn't just mean singing. It's great if you can do that. It doesn't just mean music. It means, taking a few minutes and showing off just a little bit, whatever you've got.
Poetry, jokes, flexibility. I'm incredibly inflexible. If any of you can touch your toes, that to me is open mic worthy. So,
Adeline in Singapore.
I can touch my toes.
You can touch your toes?
We're gonna hit, I'm gonna hit. See, you're doomed now, Adeline. You can fest in front of me. But we do want to make space for people to be able to share things and be able to try to step up. But we've got a few people, all like 2 or 3 of them on the schedule. So David, do you guys want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
So again, Ahmed, if you guys want, what you can do, Ahmed, I'm happy to go first. And I'll just beatbox. I'll do a little beat. I have like a little minor, like little beatbox thing that I've done. I don't even know if I can do it properly right now, but I'll do it just to like kind of get the flow going. And then if you want to, put a few bars on top of that, you can. And then
let's see what I got. It's been a while.
If you and then I will reciprocate. And again, I have not freestyled and I don't even know how long, but I will reciprocate just to make this a totally mutualistic, 2 old guys out of practice that are going to freestyle in semi-public right now. So
all right, let's see what we got. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right. So I'll do a little beatbox thing first, and then I'll go into a full like just so you can rhyme over it. But here's a first little bit. All right, here we go. Kick off the open mic. Okay.
When David's in the house, y'all drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the summit's in the house, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When biology's wrecking, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like I got my Apple Watch on and I'm rolling Sean Dahl and all the best because I got it going on. Yo, hey, best in the house. Thinking about what's about coming out my mouth. Yo, freestyling off the dome, make everybody want to stay, never go home. Think about what I'm about to say in the summit. Think about how I'm going to do it with the done of it. On the come of it. Sometimes David goes out, but I'm loving it. I'm loving all the time when I rock the mic and I do it on the rhyme. Love, listen to the beatbox song with the beatbox kicking by David Kong. Yo. You gotta be me when I'm rocking with synthetic biology. I like to rhyme all the time. When I think about it, rhymes and I'm gonna go sign. Up for a next one. Today and tomorrow is the next John. And when I'm thinking about what I want to do with the rest of this crew, I can't ever be through. I love all of you. And that's what I do. A butter best, I gotta say the rest. I'll put you to the test and that's all I gotta festa. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
I'm at best. Oh. Ahmed.
I haven't done that.
Yo. All right, man. If you do it, I'll kick some terrible bars now, just to balance it out.
Here we go.
All right,
I'm gonna give you a little slower beat.
Okay. All right, a little slower. Let's go. Oh, wait, I think you got to get farther out. We lost the beat. I think it's blowing out your compressor. Oh, Ahmed, we lost your sound. What happened?
It was doing the same thing to you, David.
Oh, was it?
Can you hear that?
Oh, there it is. A little bit. Oh, can you maybe get a little farther from the mic, maybe? I can't hear it. Can we not hear it? Maybe just claps. Maybe claps?
Once at a time, I guess.
The audio in Zoom is never great for this because
true.
It looks for the loudest thing, and then it just crushes it.
Okay.
You might have to just do it Acapulco.
Okay. Well, you give me something. I'll try. Here we go.
All right.
Okay. I don't hear another beat, but I'm bringing the heat. I'm sitting in my seat at Bio Summit. I got so many bacteria up in my stomach. They all make like microbes because I'm wearing my bathrobe, except I'm not. I'm wearing a sweater. That's right. I like to rhyme better. I rhyme best. Rhyme from the east to the west. I got so many rhymes, gotta get off my chest, and I passed all the standardized tests. 160, I don't know, you can't lift me, you can't hit me, you can't do it, you can't brew it, like I was a fermenter, like a biowork, except I went berserk on the microphone. I can't believe I'm rhyming with Ahmed Best, and you know I'm double timing. I'm like Simon, the cosine and the tangent, because I got fractions, so many actions. I don't have friction, I got tractions. And yes, we got microbes, we got fungi, and I don't lie because D Kong on the mic is so fly. I'm like a dude rapping. I can't believe that I'm doing it. It's happening. Oh my God, I think I gotta stop because we got Juliana Furchi rolled in the rot. Yes, mold in the rot's what I meant to say, but I don't play because any day I can't believe I'm rhyming, and I'm gonna stop now because I'm shining like a diamond.
Well done. Well done.
Okay, all right. That I'm not.
That's an open mic.
Awesome.
So anybody who has never heard David rap before, now you have heard his freestyle experience.
That was terrible. That was really bad, but I'm so glad I shared it with you all. Okay, can I just say, Ahmed? I think I just had a dream come true because I just freestyled with Ahmed Best. I think I can die now. I think I can go outside.
Nah,
and
man.
I can go pass on to the afterlife because my meaning in life is fulfilled.
Good. That was so much fun, yo. That was great. That was great, David. I'm with it.
Ahmed, I felt connected to you before, but now there's another level of connection that is like, we just, all of us that are here now, again, this is a special moment. Whoever, all 48 of you that are here, we all are a little special tribe. There's like the main tribe, and there's like the little special tribe that experience what just happened right here. So
definitely.
Okay.
This is what community building, this is what having fun and letting your hair down is about. It's about, feeling really tense all day, lots of information, and then just letting it go.
Brave space. Brave space, Maria. Ahmed, can we just give one more round of applause and love to Ahmed Best? Thank you, Ahmed, again, my brother. Appreciate you so much. Maria, I think we did it. I think we opened up the energy now. I think there can be an open mic. So everybody, if you guys just saw me and Ahmed just freestyle like two old dudes that don't know how to rhyme anymore, this is you guys. Ahmed can still rhyme. I don't really know how to rhyme anymore, but this is it now. Now we can have an open mic.
All right.
Maria, over to you.
I was going to say, so the first of the two people I've got signed up for tonight is Rishav. So Rishav Achara, are you here? Any chance one of the 50% of our open mic is here? Because if not, I've got some stuff to show you guys too. So Rishav, we will give you another chance if we've scared you off or your connection went bad. That's okay too. All right, going once, going sadly twice. Rishav, it was nice to have you as the first person to sign up, but we'll try and catch you tomorrow. Siren is going to share something with us. Is Siren still with us, or did he succumb to the time?
No, I'll give it a go.
All right,
Siren.
All right, let's give some snaps for Siren stepping up. Bio Summit Fellows Class 3.0 representing.
This one, it's a wee traditional, it's a wee Irish drinking song, like a party song. So two things you need to know is Mountain Dew is like what you would call moonshine in America, like an illegal drink called Mountain Dew, and the name of it is patching. But with this, if you can give a clap, like a static clap, turn your microphones off or on, whatever you want, but you just clap along. Again.
Oh, Zoom's gonna hate us.
Oh yeah.
Where the water flows and the grasses grow in a free and easy way. Give me a cup from the rural stuff that's brewed near Galway Bay. Let the police come from Ballymun, Galway and Belfast too. We'll give them a slip and we'll take us a sip of the rural Mountain Dew. Diddle 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 dum diddle 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 dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle day. Diddle 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 dum diddle 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 dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle day. At the foot of the hill, there's a neat little still with a stack that reaches to the sky, and a smell in the air you can clearly tell that the patching brewing nearby, for it fills the air with a perfume rare that betwixt both me and you. Now home we'll roll and we'll take us a hold of a rural Mountain Dew. Diddle 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 dum diddle 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 dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle day. Diddle diddle dum diddle diddle dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle. Now learned men who use the pen have wrote the praises high of the sweet pot seen from Marlin Green that cooked on wheat and rye. Forget your pills, it'll cure all ills, be a pagan, Christian or Jew. Now home we'll roll and take us a bowl of the rural mountain dew. Hey, diddle 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 dum diddle diddle dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle day. Diddle 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 dum diddle diddle dum diddle dum dum diddle diddle day. That's it.
Hey.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Woo.
All right, guys. I think I need to lead by example, much like David did. So I'm going to start off with science trivia time. Science trivia. Some of you guys have seen my science trivia before. Women in Science, the card game, which is probably not going to show up with my background on. But here's how it works. We're going to let everybody score themselves and see how y'all do and see how many women in science you know. So if you know them, give yourself a point and we'll see how we do at the end. So we'll start with the real easy one. Rosalind Franklin. How many of you have heard of Rosalind Franklin and know what she did? Chemist, X-ray crystallographer, discovered the structure of DNA, pioneer in molecular analysis of viruses. Number 2, Hedy Lamarr. Hollywood actress, Hedy Lamarr co-invented the technology used in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Margaret Mead. Anthropologist, Grace Hopper. Mathematician Grace Hopper first developed the first compiler and the COBOL programming language. Ada Lovelace. Mathematician Ada Lovelace was the very first ever computer programmer. She wrote the first algorithm for Charles Babbage's analytical engine. Katherine Johnson, this should be an easy one, was a pioneer in space science and computing. She calculated the trajectory for the Apollo 11 flight to the moon. Lise Meitner, physicist Lise Meitner discovered nuclear fission and contributed significantly to the advancement of knowledge about radioactivity and nuclear physics. Dorothy Hodgkin. Biochemist Dorothy Hodgkin won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the development of protein X-ray crystallography. Diane Fossey. Primatologist Diane Fossey made important discoveries about the behavior of gorillas. So those are the easy ones. How many did you guys get? Go ahead and put it in the chat. How'd you do? 6, 7. Nice. You guys are doing pretty good. You ready to start getting the advanced level? 2. Oh, hurts. We should know more about women in science, Patricia. All right, so next level. Level number 2, Euphemia Haynes. Euphemia Haynes was the first ever African-American woman to attain a PhD in mathematics. How about biologist Lynn Margulis, best known for her symbiosis genetic theory on how eukaryotic cells came to contain organelles. Margaret Fontaine, entomologist. Margaret Fontaine traveled across 60 countries to collect, observe, and sketch insects. Mathematician Sofia Kovalovskaya contributed to the analysis of differential equations and the physics of rotating bodies. Let's go with Inge Lehmann, a seismologist who discovered that molten inside of the Earth had a solid inner core. Let's see, who else do we have that might be a nice one? Ruby Payne Scott. Ruby Payne Scott was the first female radio astronomer and played a key role in the foundation of radio astronomy. And the last one on this level, Françoise Delotto. Françoise Delotto was a pediatrician and psychoanalyst and was known for her research in the psychology of the baby, the child, and body language of children. How'd you guys do on that one? How many did you get? These are not the hard ones yet. These are the medium ones. So this is based on my absolute favorite card game, which I brought to BioSummit every year, Women in Science, the card game. It's got 54 women scientists in each of the various fields. And the sad thing is I just used this as an educational tool. I will put the link in the chat for where you can download the PDF to print it off. I have sat in rooms of scientists before, and sometimes out of, say, 30, people will know 2 or 3 of the women on the list. So these are women we should know. The game actually has fantastic card play and is one of my favorite things to play. But more importantly, we should know about the ladies on this list. And you too can download the PDF just to know about them or to play the card game. So that's what I'm sharing with you all, is some women in science that we should know, because it's fun. And the game is fun. It's played like Old Maid. My favorite feature of it is that some of the bonus cards in here is the prestige card, because you're trying to create labs of female scientists. So 3 women in science who all are in the same discipline. If you get a prestige, you can play this card to take 2 scientists from an opponent's lab because your lab has more prestige. There is a clone card that lets you clone your scientists. And there's an enrollment card that lets you enroll people from the discard pile. So there's lots of really clever things in here. Discovery cards that say protects your labs from having scientists stolen because you've made a great discovery. So the gameplay is kind of amusing. It's a lot of fun. And that was my contribution to the open mic. So who wants to step up next, guys? Anybody?
Sequoia! Woo! Yay, Sequoia!
Is Sequoia going to show us art or baby?
Neither. I just wrote a little poem thing for you guys, and I'm going to sing it. So I'm nervous.
You got this.
Life is not limited to what you know. All is changing, move with the flow. Time is rearranging to make space for you. It's time to be free, time to express your inner truth. Create and design the future you choose. Grow, grow. Life is with you. Okay, sorry.
That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see people getting inspired by each other to spontaneously create.
Did you just write that?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
It sounds a little too much like a church sermon. I wish I could do a rap battle with you, David.
That you won the rap battle, I think. That definitely won the rap battle. That was far superior. Yes, you win. You definitely win. You definitely win.
Okay, guys, who next wants to come up on stage virtually? Come on, don't be shy. I see people fleeing and turning off their cameras.
No pressure though, but you will have another opportunity tomorrow. Okay, so this is like, again, I think we've opened the vulnerability gates tonight, so it's like we're there now. But I think everybody here in this room, this is a special group, right? This little group of 31 here, this is a little special group. Not to say, everybody's special, but we're the real special group. So, you got, everybody, I think we can bring a little extra energy tomorrow. If you don't want to do it right now, you've got 24 hours to think about it, because we're going to be in this exact same situation 24 hours from now. And you have a little time to think about it if you don't want to, you don't have anything right this second. But if you do, I think Maria would appreciate the support. So
yeah.
Anybody got a thing?
You can have something to share. You can have a reflection to share on the day.
There you go. There you go.
Something sitting next to you think is kind of nifty, you'd love to show off. Favorite pets, we've had those before on here.
That's true.
You're open and inclusive to all ideas that do not violate code of conduct.
All right,
We
I
haven't
got
violated code of
That's
conduct
the
today, have we?
point.
very, very not code of conduct violating.
Okay, I think we've successfully not violated code of conduct today. So very happy about that.
All right, so before I sign off and get some sleep before hitting it hard tomorrow, I'm gonna help teach y'all how to make a fox with your hands.
Oh yes, oh yes. I need this in my life right now. Oh yes,
Let me
let's
get
go.
the angle
Let's
here
go.
so you can see my hands.
Let's go.
Okay. All right, so put your hands together and make your middle fingers like glued to each other and bring them forward to meet your thumbs.
I think you might need to turn off your
Yeah, I'm realizing that's kind of challenging to see. Okay, hang on. Someone else can go first.
This is really good though. This is a very, I think we're into this one, Amanda.
Okay, cool. All right, people are into it.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
there we go.
So
All right.
make your little diving middle fingers here come over to your thumbs. Then you're going to see that again. So you're going to separate your first fingers and then point your middle fingers over to your thumbs.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Now you're going to cross your ring fingers over each other and put them down. Those are going to be your little eyeballs on your fox.
Oh my God, I see it.
And then you just take your first fingers and kind of push them into place. And then your back little pinkies are ears.
Got lost.
I know this one's a little bit tricky. So you had your little, you're over here with your little nose that you made already. Cross, yeah, David's got it.
This
Cross
it?
your ring fingers, yep.
Yes.
And then push your ring fingers down so that they're lying on top of your nose. And then you use your forefingers, just go ahead and put them right over your ring fingers. And your ears back here can kind of move around and be emotive while your fox says, hello, good night, everyone. Happy Bio Summit.
Good night, Amanda.
Play with children. And now you have a fox friend with you all the time.
Man, is this right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh
it
my
could kind
God.
of maybe also be like a different kind of whatever you see, maybe a
It's
dragon.
kind of a dragon, actually. I think
Yeah.
I got dragon vibes with this guy.
All right, there you go. David's got his dragon.
Ah.
I encourage you all to go explore your hand pet later on. Maybe.
All right. We have to give Amanda a special shout out. Lots of snaps for stepping up.
Woo woo.
I love that
y'all.
we're kind of going all over the map for what we're sharing here, and that's how it should be.
All right, if nobody is gonna step up, I will do like a little like an animal quiz thing. And of course, it is going to be about pangolins. This was like the first science quiz I ever did when I started all this like outreach. So for all of you who have heard this before, forgive me, but you should know the answers. So my first question is, how many species of pangolins are there? And you can put it in the chat. You can unmute yourself and shout it out. How many species of pangolins are there? Oh my gosh, I will reach down and touch my toes later on. 5, I see 5. 100, I would love if there was 100. Pangolins. Yep, pangolins. 25. Okay, anyone else? All right, there are only 8 species of pangolins in the world. There are 4 in Asia and there are 4 in Africa. Anyone knows, I'm trying to think. Anyone knows any species name? Like you can give me the, don't give me the Latin name, give me like the, like the common name. Does anyone know a name of one of these? Oh, very good, nice.
Trinity.
There is no common pangolin, but nice try. No. Okay, to be honest, I cannot there's a white-bellied pangolin, the one's in Africa. There's the Sunda pangolin, the Chinese pangolin, the Palawan pangolin, the Indian pangolin. There is a tree pangolin, but I don't think that's the full name. Ooh, the uncommon pangolin. I think they're all pretty uncommon, but I guess I'm just going to end here unless somebody else I think the one that we have in Asia, like so most of the ones in Asia are pretty endangered. I don't know if they're all critically endangered now, but Singapore actually has become a little bit of a safe hold for pangolins. So if you ever come here, you might get the chance to see one if you take a walk in the nature reserve. They're actually not as shy as people think they are, because in Singapore, our spaces are really small. So just some sharing from Singapore, and yeah. Thanks guys for today.
Thank you,
Yay
Adeline.
for Adeline and pangolin facts.
All right, I have a really bad short joke.
Oh, hell yeah. We need some jokes.
Right.
Wait a minute, let me put a pin on you so we can all make sure we get this. And
it's going to be over before you do it. All right. Why did the old lady fall in the well?
Why did the old lady fall in the well?
She didn't see that well.
I love dad jokes.
Wow.
You were
I don't have any skills. I'm sorry.
No, that is the skill. The skill is to step up and let your hair down, try something, be a little nervous about it, and then do it.
So we could do, I mean, I think we can also kind of wrap soon too, right? So we could do like maybe like one more. If anybody wants to bring it home, and then we can all get some rest for tomorrow because we got a big day. Who's got a closing talent they want to share? Joke, fun fact. Oh, Sequoia is doing something.
Somebody was volunteering to put their foot on their head. Who was that?
Sequoia. Oh my God, Sequoia.
Oh,
okay,
it was me.
yeah. Oh, Sequoia.
Sequoia
me
just put
too.
her foot on her head. Wait, Sequoia, let me pin you. Give me a second. There you go.
Do Thelma too, because they both want to do it.
Oh my God, yeah, Thelma, if you can do it too, this will be the epic. Oh my God, hold on, we got to spotlight both of you right now. Wait. This is a very important moment. All right, there is.
Spotlight, you screen grab.
Hold on, where's Sequoia? Where's Sequoia? Oh, hold on, Sequoia, hold it. I got to add spotlight. There it is. Okay.
Yes.
With that, everybody, I think that day one of BioSummit is over. Maria, what do you think?
I think we're good. We don't have to push things. We don't have to stress y'all out. But we do want to tell you guys we want to have a lot of fun tomorrow. We've got the DJ set. We've got more opportunities to share. So you guys have a whole 24 hours to think of a skill, talent, something you want to share with people.
Yes. I got a prediction, Maria. I think tomorrow's night open mic is going to be fire. I think we've done our job tonight, which is we've broken the barrier of like awkwardness. And now tomorrow is going to be fire. Tomorrow night, now, the 31, the 50 of us that were here, like, for this part, like, we know what's up. So tomorrow night, I think we're going to bring the energy. So I'm ready for it.
And bring the energy tomorrow. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We're starting in not so many hours, actually. In about 12 hours, we'll be back here. So everybody rest up, eat, sleep.
And join the European Regional at 6 a.m. Vittorio, you got to get some sleep. Vittorio, it's so late where you are. Get some rest, please.
It was 12 o'clock one Friday night. I was rocking to the beat, feeling all right. Everybody was dancing.